Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about data loss prevention or DLP policies, which is in Microsoft 365 or Office 365, some of the subscriptions. So the idea is to prevent intentional and unintentional data leakage from your organization. Probably in some cases, there can be malicious insiders within your organization. So it can be disgruntled employees where they can send some critical and confidential information out of your organization. And sometimes some people even share credit card information and IP addresses, kind of very, sensitive information out of your organization, which you don't want to happen. So in this video, I will show you in Microsoft 365, you have Microsoft 365 subscription, how you can prevent and protect your organization. Now I'm in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on security, then it will load up Security and Compliance Center. Right, so this is Microsoft 365 Security and Compliance Center, which is SCC. And if you go down, you would see data loss prevention feature here. So if I click on policy, it would load up uh, policy creation window. So this is my policy creating window. So I'm just gonna click policy. So before that, if you notice, there are two widgets available. One shows DLP policy matches, whereas other one shows DLP policy positive override, which means if there are any policy matches, so if any communication within the organization or from inside to outside external communication, if this matches, you would see it on this widget. And the other one is if there is a policy matches but it's false positive, that can be, or that also can be tracked here. So let's start creating policy. When you click on that, it would loads up around 80 predefined templates, already available templates to your configuration. So if you click on finance, you would see the number of finance related policies. If I click on Australia financial data, you would find protected information including SWIFT code, Australian tax file number, and bank account number and credit card information. So if you go into Canadian one, you would find more. So there are heaps of templates available here. And if you go into medical and health, including HIPAA Act and various other acts to protect medical and health related data, you can find it here. If you click on here, for an example, you can find Australian tax file number and medical account number. And there are plenty of privacy related acts as well. So if you go into Australia personally identifiable information or PII, you would see number of information here. So you can select any of those, and not only that, you can create your own custom policy. So let's start with here. So I'm going to select Australian financial data, and there are a number of countries there. So you can select based on the countries or whatever the way you would want. I'm going to apply this policy, and then I'm going to say, let's say demo here. I can, specify any name I would want, and then it would protect by default all the application in your organization, or you can select the specific location. Let's go in there. So it would find, you would see the options including Exchange email, SharePoint sites, OneDrive accounts, and Teams chat. Even Teams chat can be protected using DLP policies, intentional and unintentional data leakage. And if you want, you can select specific distribution groups within Exchange server, and also you can exclude certain members or groups. And also in SharePoint, you can select sites, and also there are exclusions. And OneDrive, same. So I'm going to click on next, and then you would find the number of content that you're going to protect here. And then if you go into advanced settings, you can configure some additional information. I'm not going to configure that now. Select this one, and if you go in there, you can select multiple other options. So instances, for an example, you don't want to send multiple credit card numbers out, but single credit card number is acceptable. In that way, you can configure number of least instances in order to trigger this policy. So, and then you can configure even encryption. So not only protecting, but also you can block and encrypt email messages. So let's go into the next one, and there you can configure this policy right away, or you can configure policy tips. So whenever somebody is trying to configure, send this confidential data from outside, so inside to out, it would show them something like pop-up window, which is known as policy tip to users, saying that our organization is protecting this information and you are not allowed to send this information now. So you can do that as well, and then you can test it now, or you can switch it on right away, and then you can select, you can create this, or if you want to test it, you can do that as well. You can test it, you can monitor it, but it wouldn't block anything, but it will test it only. So this configuration you can do using data loss prevention policies. I just took you through very quickly. So you can fine tune this configuration as well. So you can, based on the instances and based on accuracy, you can improve these policies to be able to protect your communication, to prevent uh, intentional and unintentional data leakage from your company. So I hope this is informative, and thanks for viewing, and hope to see you with next video.